back.
Are we back?
Hi.
Where's the camera? There it is. Right
I don't know. Like, we really need to, like...
Let's check levels. 1, 2, 1, 2. Levels are fine.
Wait,
Can you hear me now, Bueller?
Yeah, no, yep, I can see on the green there. Yep, I can do.
Okay.
We're back live.
Oh, we are live.
I have the next technical difficulty.
There we are.
Oh my God, but they named it Michael's Angels Pilates Primer. That's what it's named. I don't even want to talk to do. I don't.
It wasn't a scheduled event, right?
Yeah, it's going for the last one. I'm going to edit the title and call it. Oh my God, what a.
Gremlins 3.
Oh, wait, Gremlin, yeah. I found a new gremlin.
We want to see
Are we still live? Or
Yeah, welcome to the after party.
So for the after party, I brought a special gremlin to visit.
Okay, yes, Mary says we see clearly, hear clearly. Good.
Welcome back, Randy.
Hello, Mr. House. How's that?
Susanna.
We're all here. Everybody's here.
It's the
Thanks
mother.
for waiting for us.
Okay, we're good. We're back.
It's Gizmo, the mud life. Before it turned into Look at those
Milo.
ears. This dog is so cute. It just lives to play fetch. All it does.
Hey,
Milo loves to play fetch.
I just learned how patient Sia is. During that break, it was like she had this zen-like calm about her.
She kept her cool.
I did. I was so impressed. I was like, oh my gosh! Like I would have had a meltdown as a producer, but no.
Especially after my encouragement.
Right.
We're good. Hey, when I post when she's been posting about me, y'all be like, good. Like I'm glad you got happy.
I think the taters helped. It was her happy place. Like,
Yeah. The tater tots.
Tater tots took her.
Tickle her tummy.
Not that I'm condoning by any stretch of the imagination, but this may or may not be full at one point.
Yeah. Well.
She may or not have had the.
That's why I'm Zen.
So wait a
I
minute.
had
That's the key to working with her then.
a bottle
The
of
bottle.
wine
The ball one.
Well,
and Milo.
yeah. There you go. Share the mic. Come on. This is the after party. We can't be serious.
Yeah,
oh
this
my
is
God! What a comment.
Serious? Were we serious the first time?
Serious.
Were we serious in the first time?
Hey, Stephanie Park. Thank you so much, Stephanie Park.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
That's what I said. Reverend Godfrey, who has been has been a commenter on my show. He would love, I guess, to advance. Well, I'm not even going to try. Honestly.
You had a lot of tater tots too.
Yes.
Yes.
And
What are in those tater tots? Don't answer that.
I don't know, but
Shout out Amber.
I don't know.
I'm like, you know, I feel like just I'm leaning in right now. I feel like I'm like a guitarist, like, and the lead singer won't share the mic, and I'm like doing this.
Okay,
I'm going to share the mic because it sounds like a tater. It smells like tater tots talking to me. Go ahead.
At least I smell like tater tots and not like, the relish I ate earlier or whatever.
Okay. So now we got comments. People's back in. Everything's fine. Okay. This is the after party, right?
Yes.
All right.
Oh my gosh, Mary goes, it's like Groundhog's Day.
Okay, so what I want to hear the plan. How you said, almost like the Beverly Hillbillies, I'm leaving Kentucky. I want to get out. I'm going to go to Texas.
Yeah. Well, I can skip to the funny part
Yeah, let's go.
before TSA funny part. So, all right. Dude, I even Googled how to use the airport. All right, it hadn't been that long. It was 2018.
Oh shit!
But
Audio, double check it.
hello.
It's
It
still
is
not.
Groundhog's Day again.
It's still not recognizing. Romp romp.
Do you still have a plug
Thank
into
you,
the, do you
guys.
still have a plug into the port though?
I do. I'm gonna plug it into here if I can.
Plug it into the-
Susanna says maybe it's time to put down the tater tots.
No.
Well, I mean, now it's too late for people.
Whatever. You should have. That's like too hard.
Susanna, come on and help us.
I got it.
You got it?
Come to Jodie'S.
Yeah.
Barking
Plenty
on,
of tater tots for everyone.
she'll go from barking on the couch. Yeah.
Oh shit! I'm out of USB ports. So.
You have a US. You have
Yeah.
a,
Let me try another
What's
spot.
going on?
Okay.
I don't know if they can even hear us.
I don't know.
Like maybe we just do like funny little dances. Like you want to dance with
Does
Milo?
it read it? Does it pick it up? No.
Mary Baker is there. Can you hear me at all?
Can they hear that okay better?
Okay, can you hear it now?
Oh, son of a sea cook. Okay, let me think.
Give
Let
me
me
cookies
chew.
and ketchup and make
Let me
my
chew.
eat.
Is this still plugged in? Yeah. That's the power. This is to the webcam.
Says we can,
No, we know it's working because the light's working.
She said she can hear us perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's not reading.
Susanna said that she could hear us perfectly.
I'm so impressed with these guys. They're problem solving on the fly. Like they are running through dozens of what if scenarios trying to fix this.
I hate to do this. I'm going to turn it on and off again.
Okay. Who's LinkedIn user? Is that Trevor?
Trevor who?
Is this really live? I thought you all guys were on earlier.
Yeah.
That's great. Maybe we were.
Maybe we weren't.
Yeah.
What was it?
So,
LinkedIn user, the infamous LinkedIn user. You know, that's when you've made it, when you've actually had somebody who's just an anonymous LinkedIn user, like put into your comments.
Yeah.
Or two ways. I'm going to say this.
So-
Two ways.
We're told to yell because we're the farthest from the laptop. We're supposed to project
Oh, yeah.
farther.
Okay, I'm going to use my loud voice.
I gotta say hi to Kitty D first.
There you go.
There you
I was
go.
going to say,
I knew it. I knew it.
one, you have to have a LinkedIn user
Yep.
anonymously show up on your live stream. And then number two, when Mr. Kenneth Dunner Jr. shows up on your live stream with your scrum diddly umptious,
That's right.
whatever it is, you've made it.
Who is he? And how do I find him?
No, he finds you.
He finds you.
Yes.
Oh, who is he? And how
Okay.
do I stop
So-
him?
I still call him Kitty D because that's
Kitty.
what, yeah.
Well, so I coined him when I first started using him or knowing him. He used his full name, but he's actually. I remember finding him for the very first time when I started doing this back in 2019.
Oh, yeah.
Sound.
You know what happened?
What?
Mother effer get the laptop to the board, the port, the switch, the main switch. It was disconnected, so of course nothing would work.
Oh, it wasn't really.
Oh
Well, it
no.
was unplugged.
All right, so,
So
nobody
like
can even
now
hear
you
me. Now
have
can
us
hear
in
it.
crystal
Okay.
clear
Okay,
format.
now we can have.
Welcome to the after party.
Okay, hello, folks.
Welcome to Jodie's World.
1 2 1 2. Jodie's World.
Take me down. Oh my God! Now we're buffering. Randy House. I swear to, we're on Wi-Fi. That's a problem. I did not was not able to hardwire. That's why.
Did Randy? Hey, Randy, did you see all the stuff before the first half of this?
Probably not.
Dude, you got to go back. All right, so after this, go back and watch the back end of the first show. You won't be sorry, Randy.
Oh my God! Oh, it freaking like I
Brian
kicked
says
it
we're
down.
throwing it up.
Dude, you'll see it. You'll see it. Yeah.
Randy says when all else fails, plug it in.
All right. We'll give Sia a break. So, all right. So, Gabe was talking about, well, all right. So, on the subject of Kenny D, because he went from Kenny D, he went undercover, and now he's Ken Dunner. So, there's a lot of folks like him out there who are, I don't know if it was overlooked at first when I was new to LinkedIn, but like, so Ansley and folks like that, like they have no, they're not trying to do business or grow a new coaching business. They have a like professional doctor job, scientist, things like that. And I don't overlook those people because those people are great because they're here just to be here, right? And I think there's either subconsciously or even consciously smart enough to say, I don't need a job. I don't need anything.
Exactly.
So what better time is it just to show up and network and help other people?
That's all they
Really.
do. That's their mindset. It's like,
Absolutely.
I am well set off. I'm not here to like push anything. I guess like he's already in his purpose in life as far as like his career. So he just loves coming to support people.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Look, I've been doing over 500 shows, right? He showed up on my streams by my 10th show and has been there ever since.
Wow.
And that's me doing almost 4.5 years now, going on 5 years. So for him to consistently show up, like,
Yeah.
this is the funny thing. He'll meet people in person. He will hop on a video chat with you offline, but he won't get on a live stream. I got him on a live stream one time.
Oh, you're kidding.
One time that he's been on an actual live stream with anybody.
Wow.
Dude.
And he really didn't say much. He just came on, was high, and pretty
Look,
much it.
Did you ever meet him in person?
man, a few words. Huh?
We did not. I did not get a chance to meet him when I went down to Houston. I am going again here in a couple months down there because there's a few other people that I want to go meet, and I will meet him when I go back down there.
All right, Kenny D or Ken, you got to message me because if the layover, because I got to go to Houston first. Hey, I'll buy you a sandwich, and you don't have to say anything. We'll just have a delicious sandwich. All right. So
How come you didn't tell her to see you though?
dude, she's calm. Leave her alone. Don't poke the bear, bro.
Give her the rest of her bottle.
Yeah, give her baba. She needs her baba right now, dude.
Why aren't
So-
you
Because wait till Randy goes and watches the end of the
Cheers.
other one and see what she had to go through. All right.
Oh.
I know. I see it.
You saw it? Dude.
That's what you were sitting across.
Yeah. Okay. So let me give somebody some of value for you showing up here and watching this. Man, this is too much fun. Like I have watched people in the Hounds and just LinkedIn in general that, we have connected some way and they're hanging out, sending me pictures. And I'm sitting at home in a shed by myself, like, I wish I was there. And now I'm here. So, man, so excited. You're awesome.
Welcome to Texas.
So awesome. So
Remember, there's a microphone you're talking to.
more.
You're not
more-
talking to
Welcome
You're not
to
logging in,
Texas.
Thank
right
you.
there.
Yeah, see, would you like to say something?
I'm just chilling here. I'm chilling. I'm chilling.
Randy didn't get to see it earlier. She's like, move the microphone. So I was like, boom, boom, boom. All right. So, all right, two things. More, and I noticed this because Gabe told me this. So if you don't go, so two things. Number one, I got to be honest. When I saw your show and King of LinkedIn Live and I saw it, I think the first time I was on your show was probably right when you were ending it and it had 4 viewers.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I didn't know if that was good or not. But what you put in context, you do it every single day, right? And it's funny because it's sometimes, like you said, 14 and so it's more. I mean, the ratio's got to be out off the roof. But here's what I want to tell people: it's real simple. You just don't think about it. If you want to grow it, show more love, and that's what I noticed. If I ignore people all week, I get less viewers. Imagine that, right? But if I love on people throughout the week, it goes up, right? Go on other people's show, not even be a host, dude. I get more kudos being a fun audience member in comments. That's just so it is fun. Just do that, right? Get noticed, and then number 2, build a show around people. That was something I didn't want to pick a topic and force it and kind of get up. I find people daily through referrals. All the Hounds refer me to people, and what I do is I find people and I think, oh, this person would be. As they talk, I take notes and say this person would be great with Kristen, and Kristen would be great with this person. And then I get them together, tell them to talk. If it works out good, they go on my show. If it doesn't, well, thank God I had them talk first, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, all of that.
Please, for the love of God, stop switching your hands. I can hear it. Just stop.
Dick.
Just pick a freaking hand.
See, this is why all the gremlins didn't talk in the movie. This is what would happen.
I'm going to squirrel here for a second.
Go ahead.
The Michael Gale
Yeah.
pose from earlier this week. Hold your hand and then talk.
No. Yeah. Wait till y'all see the Pilates clips. There's like 8,000 of them. This is the one where Sia will be happy to do all of them. Brilliant Beam Media, shameless plug. And I love the questions. Did you do that? Do I look like I did any of this? Or if I was doing this, it would be in a deer stand with the Etch a Sketch. All right, let me get that straight, man. So thank you, Sia. But what's your thoughts on that? Showing love, going out there, doing what you do, and then finding a way to promote people. I mean, that's what I learned
I think
from you.
My thoughts of this. So it's like if that's the purpose and intention behind it, then you need to do it.
Right.
Pretty simple. Like for an example, I'm gonna get on. I've got onto my I have a coach now who helps me. Right. She does not plug her own stuff.
Slide.
Oh, slide. Okay. Well,
I noticed you progressively going
out
further
of the thing. Well, it's like
Sia's playing foosball with
That's
us.
because he's got a girlfriend now.
I got a girlfriend now.
Yeah. Church and state. No, you're fine.
No, we're good. We're good.
I don't
honestly,
bite.
I apologize,
No.
but you have to understand. Literally, the first 5 minutes I walk into Jodie's place, next thing you know, I'm under his armpits. Okay, I just need you to understand. I have come and have endured a lot in the last 48 hours.
You have.
She walked in the door. I snatched her up like a baby, popped her back so I didn't get killed. That's why everybody's like, well, I thought he was going to rock her like a baby and die. No,
No.
it worked
pretty
out.
much.
I got
Oh,
lucky.
you're good.
But then we were doing Pilates with Michael Gale. Shameless plug. He's got a webinar Monday.
We're doing Saturday morning.
Oh, he is going to be here Saturday morning. That is right. Not here, but here in Video Land. All right.
Oh, he's gonna be here. All right.
Is he?
Yeah.
Good. He's
We're all
got
gonna
a
be,
schedule.
like-
Go ahead and block your evening and your afternoon out. What is it? 4 or 5, 6 o'clock. What did you say?
Well,
Just we're gonna be live streaming 24/7. Go.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, in between, we'll take breaks when Sia knocks all her equipment off. So I know.
she's gonna.
Hey.
She was almost past it.
I was. Hell, man.
She was almost past it.
Yeah. It's and Gabe acts like he don't know what the equipment does. You know, like he's just watching.
Well, I was going. That looks like.
Wait a minute. Okay, so that was another OG that just called me. Becky Wolf. So she is not watching me. You know why? How I know she's not watching us? Because she's calling me. So let's call her and tell her to get on the live stream if she wants to talk. How about that?
Who?
Becky.
Yes.
Oh, like Claire's saying hi.
We
too.
haven't heard from you, Becky.
Oh, Miss Claire M. Davis. Long time no see.
You know what? I feel bad.
Mm.
Okay, Claire, I'm really sorry
Hey,
about.
Elizabeth.
You swear to God- Let go! Oh my God, you guys,
Hey, I just called you.
we created a monster. Hey, Claire, my apologies. So you know how you like at and reply and all that?
Mm-hmm.
I think I was like trying to reply back to one of like Claire's posts, and I'm like Claire Danes. I'm like, why won't it pull up? And then it was Claire Davis. So my apologies, beautiful. Like
It's.
I was
You
like,
want to remember that's why I put the M in there because I don't want to get
Oh.
confused people. So that's why like I see her name and I go Claire M. Davis because I have another Claire that I know and I do the same thing where I want to write that thing and I go.
okay, so that's so funny because like I don't know any other Claires,
I'm sorry.
but so I think Claire Danes, and then I thought Taylor Danes, and then now Claire. Just so you know,
Now
beautiful.
she's dating herself.
Every time, damn straight, I'm dating myself. But every time I think of Claire, that song "Tell It to My Heart" freaking comes
Tell
up.
it
So,
to my heart.
tell me I'm the only one. Is this really love or just a game? Okay, so
We're dating.
so Claire, just so you know, every time I see your posts, that song comes up. So there you go. Congratulations.
Yeah. She's
Yeah.
got it. She's got it back. in
Everyone's
her
like,
mind.
there's like 2 people left now because I sang. Sorry, Mike. This is
Only
an after
two?
party, right?
Only 2.
No, there's probably 20 because they know something stupid's going to happen. I mean, that's the point. But again, we have to keep saying it. Dude, do business, play. That's the thing. I was always so serious. I never celebrate anything. I want people in the comments and audience. Honestly, do you celebrate your wins when you do something incredible or just win? Even if you expect to win.
Mhm.
I know this. I want to see the honesty because I know in the hounds, especially, very few of you do that. Very few. All right. No point, no elbows or
they
anything.
don't. Look, I gotta
but-
tell you, that's the one thing you gotta start doing in life is you gotta start celebrating all those wins, the little ones, big ones, all the same. Like you gotta get enough of those things in life to actually start, saying I'm making progress. That's how you track things. Everybody wants to look at like numbers and analytics and KPIs. You know what? Those are your KPIs. Get your wins.
Mm-hmm.
The people that you surround yourself, people that you work with, the people that you eventually get to meet in real life, you help me celebrate those wins in ways that I haven't done for myself in many years. So thank you for all that you have done.
You're
And
welcome.
Sia, thank you for being above and beyond amazing during crazy and difficult times. And just, we would have never met had it not been for Mike and the Hounds of Business. And love you, girl.
Yes.
Or you
And
rescuing.
Gabe, we like met on your second to last episode before you're like, peace out. I'm like, who is this
This
guy?
guy.
Like 500 episodes. I'm just not hearing of him, but like,
That's
then
crazy,
I
though.
finally find you. And then you're like,
I gotta go. See, it's
and
like
now
when
I
you
get
meet
to meet you in person.
Yes, and then they're like, that's how it. Funny. That's how I met my coach. She did not know who I was when we met. Like we actually met. I think I was doing a live with was the last live I ever did with Raquel and Dan, and I had just finished up. And my buddy Chris Hennessy was streaming, or no, he promoted, he was doing an audio event. So I said, I'm done with my thing. I might as well go over there. I got nothing else to do. Screw it. I went in there, joined their audio event, loved it, hung out, had a great time. We talked. Of course, they let me talk, and I won't shut the hell up. I mean, I just talk. You don't tell me to be quiet. I won't. So I went up there, started talking, whatever. We met, and then afterwards, after the show, she reached out to me. We just started conversing. We actually formed our relationship off of LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Not even me being on LinkedIn. This was me again walking away and shutting the door on everything, which is like I was like, that's kind of cool that we started formulating that bond. Like I was like, that's cool, because then I started realizing sometimes some of these bonds that you make and you form with people, like they can really grow apart from just being on social media. I mean,
actually, here, what's strange to me is that we picked up where we left off. Like, yeah, I honestly thought, I guess this is my age kicking in, dude. I was like, we had to re-meet each other. Like we knew each other on Zoom and stuff and LinkedIn, but we didn't know each other. And it wasn't that way. Like subconsciously, there it was. I was popping her back. We're doing bridges over top of her with our sweaty armpits. Very strange how it was this, like,
looks like she's got a little PTSD.
Well, here's what I want. If I get my little gizmo baby butt here. I know, Milo, you're not a gizmo, but you're kind of ish. This is how I know LinkedIn works, and LinkedIn can work, is the fact that I've never seen you in humanoid form, in 3D, IRL, whatever you want to call it. And I literally feel like I just know you. I'm like, oh, Gabe's here. Good job. Like it wasn't like a weird, the fact that, you guys were doing Pilates walking in, and I was like, oh,
And we didn't stop. We opened the door for her because your hands were full.
yeah.
And I'm like, hi, come on in. And literally we just go back to doing London bridges with Michael Gale's Pilates workout.
And freaking Michael Gale, get underneath them. I'm like, he been working you got for like an hour. Thankfully, though, your deodorants, good job. Just whatever brands you want to show them, you're welcome to. But that's the thing about, I think, can I say something controversial? Because why not? Because
go ahead.
Sippy's finally kicking in really
This is
well.
the after party.
Oh yes,
After party. Oh, we're getting real. Because you know why? Checkpoint Real Talk launching tomorrow.
I mean, it is after hours.
It is after hours, but it is this. How many times have we looked at LinkedIn and said, it's a bunch of fake crap?
All the time.
It's a bunch of pods where they're just, and we all know it, kids. We all know the pods exist. Yes, they've got value, but how many have actually built real relationships where we're actually genuinely happy to see each other? And let me tell you, there have been times where, in the Hounds, we're having real life challenges, and people rallied around each other like no other group. I've been part of tons of groups on LinkedIn, and I gotta tell you, like, good job, Mike. Like, really great job, Mike, because you know what? I think there's authenticity. There's not so much, and the crew, we're not all getting like 100,000 whatever views on all of our posts. But the thing is, everyone's so busy right now. Can I just say it? Oh my God, I just ADD'd, and we're just gonna go with it. Art. Shoot. Wait, hold on. Oh no, the wrong one. Shit. I forgot what I was doing. But yeah, I don't look. Anyway, the wine's kicking in, which is this. Is the group is working well. A pod's working well, if you will. You want to call it a pod, whatever. You can't really call it on LinkedIn. But a group of people that got together, that really committed to each other in a community that's really committed. We're getting business from each other, so much so that we're actually not able to respond to each other on LinkedIn as a quote pod should do, but we're still all doing business. That's where I'm like, this is working. So Mike, my challenge to you is what's next then? Because when you have a successful community like this, how do you sustain it in a way that, you know what, we can continue to grow? So I'm throwing it at you.
I don't know. Why would you ask me that? Look, and the fun part is, and that's the whole tenet of the show, the main premise of the live stream and the Hounds.
Well, I'm going to interject when you're done. I got something to say about this.
The whole premise is, who knows? Here's what I do know. We'll figure it out, because that's how we got here, and that's how we're going to get farther. And I'm not going to figure it out by myself. I've got other people, and I've said this a million times. People say, well, What's your weaknesses? I'm like, I don't know. I outsourced that crap a long time ago. And they're sitting here. I don't have to have them. And I have strengths that other people don't. So I think, expansion is the next thing I can think of. Is just how do we, because this is not just put together like, hosh posh or anything. This is actually strategic and intentional. But what doesn't change is the heart of why it started, who we are and what we do. I mean, just look at who's here in the after party. There's not one person that's not a super pro in their industry, but they want more than just friendships and friendliness, man. They really want a deep relationship with folks. And the last comment, if I don't know of any other group or business group or community on or offline that could share the crap that they've been through the last 3 months and be stronger for it. I just can't imagine you would go to work and say, yeah, I had a whole bunch of horrible problems. And people say, yeah, me too. Or, it's okay. It doesn't work that way. So I think that's what intentionally expanding, that we can do more, be more, help people do more business, etc., but keep the same heart. Does that make sense? Anybody? Yes, no?
No, I think you're
Absolutely.
walking. I mean, you're heading down the right line of where I was actually going to go with that. Is that you have to start building other pillars for people to be able to do this, because I'll tell you what, it's a lot for one person to carry on a community by themselves. So it's like when you say, hey, like, the question you just asked, what's next, Mike? Sometimes it's more like the lines of, what? I haven't had that sort of thought to foreshadow what should be a next step. Should there be a next step? Like what are and those are things you gotta look at thinking about when you say how to grow it. Because I've grown a few communities myself, and I've also let them die off.
Yeah.
Yes.
Part of them part of them was because I didn't no longer want to carry that burden, and the other part was me not understanding that I should have let others carry that for me as well. That was the hard part about it, because you start feeling there's certain things that you have. I mean, honestly, you feel like this is your puppy. This is your baby. You've grown this. You worked in a lot. And yes, you did want other people to grow inside of it, but there's still a part of you that's still connected to it. The other part is letting that go and saying, for example, saying, I trust this person to delegate them to start building upon this. Because my thing is, if you die off from that community, and you are the main thing that carries it, everything around it is going to die with it. So you have to start looking at other ways to saying, I got to plant different roots so that this thing continues to grow beyond just if my part just.
And we did. But you've been on the Himalayas, finding girlfriends and stuff and meditating. So, and that's a good point, because Raquel, right? Raquel was the first one that, because I seen it. I seen her, not just, I remember a few months ago, she said, hey, I might catch up to you. I said, oh no, you'll blow past me. You'll double me within 3 months, 6 max. And look what happened. So the natural response is to call Sia and say, hey, let's get her out here, because she has things of value. She has people that she can push up, and they may not even like me. Right. And that's the whole point. Let me make this very clear, because this is different than a lot of things on and offline that I've seen. We teach and promote independence. Complete independence. I don't need 5,000 virtual children, man. But what I can deal with is 10 to 15 key leaders who can help other people. I'm duplicating myself. And so not just Raquel, but kind of a sneak peek. I'm not sure what I'm allowed to say. But we're looking at number 2 right here in Jodie, right? She's doing things. It's natural for her. Because we all want business. But how do we get business organically? And here, let me change the thought. Let's change get business to people wanting to hand us some business, or give us some business. How about we just do it that way? So, we got Raquel, and then we've got, and then I went and just kind of like stole some renegade leaders and incorporated them, like Supermom, Lachelle, right? Lachelle Atkins. Like how silly would I be not to, do you want to come over? Yeah, absolutely. And she has been an asset. She came in, and new folks in the pack drawn to her immediately. And Nicole, she was in a chapter of anthology. I think I said that right. All because they came to the group. Do we have photo bomber? Is that, well,
There was some sort of sign language being done back here. Ah,
Oh, do we have waiters?
we
and
have
stuff?
we have tiny little helpers in the
We have
background.
helpers in the
Welcome to
background.
Jodie's world.
Oh man, I should have done that.
Oh,
Like, that
you
should have been like,
ASMR.
No, thank you. You're so nice. The whole family is just so nice.
yes.
All right. So leader number 1, Raquel Flores, Raquel's Connection Corner. Don't forget Saturday. And number 2 in the making, and real soon, is Jodie Lamb. All right. So we're not going to tell you what, but yeah, here's what we do know. Just like Raquel, she'll probably carry on the tradition of kicking my butt on my own show when she restreams it. But honestly, that's the point. I want independent leaders. If you want to leave me one day, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you.
Yeah.
But you'll also probably want to come back because it's goofy, right? I mean, we got a lot of people, all boats rising. So that's my thing. It's actually working. It's not just some hodgepodge philosophy. This is something that I just pieced together. Things started working. So I just did them again and tweaked them, and people liked it. And I think that's the key. And no, nothing should be centered around me. Absolutely should not just be centered around me. If you ever seen Raquel's show, probably the part that makes you want to just go scream is when she talks about me and Sia and the show. But that's the reason for it. We didn't talk about me. Then I have nobody here. I wouldn't even be in Texas. Talk about other people. Praise other people, coach them, and tell them the hard stuff too. We've talked a lot about hard stuff in this community, this group, and it's almost insane how some people can come in and start dropping, things that people would normally hide. They just start dropping it like in a week.
I'm gonna disagree with you. I'm gonna disagree with you on one thing, and that's the fact that not only are they going to grow, like you're saying, they're going to grow beyond you. My thing is, why does one have to outgrow the other? Why don't just continue to push? Because my thing is, no matter what, even if you were to walk away tomorrow, and I'm using myself as an example because I've seen it not just in my case but in others. If you were to walk away tomorrow and then you come back in 6 months, you already know how to do this. You would be able to reestablish, rebuild, and kind of almost repolarize a whole nother community almost overnight. Once you've learned how to do this once, you learn to do it so many different ways. Like, again, I'm about to launch a 5th season. I promise you the crowd that shows up won't be the same as it was last season.
Yeah.
Or the previous. I've noticed those people come and go in seasons, and there's only a few that stay consistent. I'm going to tell you what, that's a good thing. And I'll tell you why. That means they've watched what you've done, and they've either went to go implement it themselves and start growing what you've done for themselves, or they've just gone, lost away in life. But still, more times than not, they grow and you start seeing them kind of expand. Right. I love that you're doing this with what you're doing with your community. I just think you should. I swear to God, it's like watching a brother and sister sitting next to each other in a restaurant. And mom's telling them mom is telling them to say, sit down and share, right? And they're like, they can't stop poking each other. It's the funniest shit ever. And I'm just sitting here laughing and trying to hold like a calm. I'm trying to hold a calm, actual rational statement. And I'm watching them do this, and I go, "Oh my God!"
You don't understand. Like this today, we literally got kicked out of the house to go in the backyard because she goes, "You two, there's other people having business conversations. You need to get out of here." And then we're in that backspace, and then she still came out. She goes, "Your baby, like, so low, we can still hear you."
No, dude.
So loud.
I said we just chased
So loud.
We just chased the host out of our own house. That's awesome.
I was like, I couldn't help it. It's funny because I grew up in a big family and I see what it's like when you're trying to tell you, shh, be quiet. You're telling them to be quiet and you just cannot shut up. And that's the crazy part. But it's fun. I loved it.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Now I lost my train of thought, but still.
Sia wanted the dog. I was trying to bribe the dogs to get back. And then I was trying to sneak the dog quietly to
No,
Sia.
what are you doing? No, go back to give that back to her and then give me back the mic. You need to hold the mic.
Yeah.
Wait, the other way.
There you go.
What I was gonna say was she was eyeballing wanting to come over, and I saw her ears go, "Are you gonna pick me up?" And I'm like, "I can't pick you up, girl." And then I saw her slowly but surely going behind your back. So I was trying to discreetly talk to you, and I know you, and I apologize. And I'm just like trying to be like so polite, and I'm like, "Oh, not working, not happening." But okay, so here's the thing: it's beauty in imperfection, right? Like we could come off as being like, "Oh, well, LinkedIn." I mean, okay, let's be honest, Gabe, you and I, we do live streams all the time.
All the
We
time.
produce for our clients, we
Yep.
help them out. SHIT happens, right? Like
Mhm.
just now, and which was fun. And there's sometimes things that are just completely out of your control where the hardware just goes, we're just going to eat the bed, right? And at the same time, what's cool though is now you work with people over time when they learn about you as a human that this tonight was just really more of a, if you want to get authentic, you cannot get more authentic than this tonight. And by the way, the lighting now is starting to get harsher and harsher, which is upsetting me because the sun's setting. And like so just from a production perspective, and these are from real people, like I know people are judging. And that's the other thing. How do you guys address in your respective industries when you know damn well something's not working right? And how would you on a live stream, for example, how would you address that, you guys, with your peer group?
So if I was watching someone else, have a hard technical difficulty or issue or something, how would I respond to it?
No.
In your industry, whatever it might be.
So let's just say in the financial industry,
Yeah.
and you see somebody struggling, right? Or you're doing what are your thoughts on something? Because ours are going to be kind of aligned a little bit because we both do the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think what we're asking is like, how do you handle it when you see a stressful moment like that, where you kind of have to almost either just roll with whatever's happening, right? Or you allow yourself to succumb to the pressure of everything that's happening happening in front of you.
Early on, I mean, if anything went wrong or I didn't have an answer or, like just caught off guard, it would be horrible. I mean, just crumble. Over time though, life's too short. And again, I know what I know and I know what I don't know. And so it's kind of like that book title, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. It's just, I just overinflated the importance of it. I mean, I could really have ridiculous time after, bad show after bad show. I mean, it happened to me the other month.
Mm-hmm.
Everything went wrong. Remember that? Everything, they kept kicking me off of Restream, the audio. I mean, I was 3 seconds delayed. The whole thing was awful. And I'm thinking nobody's going to come back. And they did, right? And so I think we just catastrophize, man. I think we catastrophize. And I think when people see us give ourselves grace, they're pretty confident we give it to them too. Again, it's not, they see us kind of going, hey, it happens. It's not a big deal. Other people I like that. It's attractive to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not that we just screw up all the time. It's not that we just say, oh, we're just going to be incompetent and not do good. But it happens. Like, honestly, if somebody comes down on me over a mistake, they're probably going to get knocked out quick, or at least we're going to break up. And the fact is, because I'm surprised I don't make way more mistakes than I normally do. So if I finally make a mistake once every 3 months, I'm okay with that. So I don't know. I mean, I think it starts with you, and then how you project to other people will follow.
Okay. Jody?
Dude, that was I totally agree. Look, I was making notes. That's what I do when I need to remember everything I want to try to articulate here. So that was a really great question because there's a lot in my industry right now that I think that is being unsaid or unaddressed, and it's challenging. And working together with your peers, working together as women, working together as anybody interested in the same common goal is key. I think the hardest thing is just stepping up and making acknowledgement, taking ownership of it, and finding a solution. I think working together, we have greater opportunity to grow, to work together, to help each other succeed individually and collectively. Because that's what we're doing. We want to work with real people. And so if you got a problem, you got to work together. And look what happens when you collaborate with people that maybe you wouldn't have otherwise associated with or known. LinkedIn has been that connection for people. And that's what makes this community so real. So I say when, in our industry, we got to work together. Structured settlements, we've got some issues to address, and I put myself out there and happily will have conversations to work together to make it better, to make what we do more impactful, to help people who have been injured with catastrophic injuries or anyone looking for tax advantageous strategies. Sorry, little
Shameless plug. and
a
we
little
encourage that.
advertisement there.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
anyway, yeah, I mean, we really need to lean into working together. And that's what the Sounds of Business community has become for me. I stepped on the LinkedIn, goodness, it's almost been a little over a year and a half now. And in that first year was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, just struggling to figure out, how do I make my tiny voice heard? And Mike Asher-Brannard, thank you for finding my voice when I didn't even think anyone could hear it, and then finding a way to amplify it in a real and authentic way that it's genuine. I have people that have reached out to me from across the world the last month, and thank you from the bottom of my heart for everyone's well wishes.
Yeah.
Thank you, because it's 6 months now we've known each other.
Yeah. I think right at 6. Yeah. It was like 6 years.
It's like an anniversary or something. Welcome to Jodie'S World.
Yeah. But we had 6 years of, pretty much that's the fun-
Crammed,
yeah,
like
crammed
so
in
much
6
drama
months.
in the last 6 months. It's been a rough existence. And people that I've never met in person became friends when we were isolated from being able to just work with people like this, like going back to real days where we went to offices and saw each other face to face. We've been disconnected from adulting conversations to some degree in real life. So this is beautiful. We are connecting not only as a community, but as business partners and people that genuinely want to help each other succeed. And guess what? I'm growing. We've hired new staff. That's why Jodie'S World is happening this week. We are celebrating the growth of structured settlements and the need to be able to support and help more people. But that's what happens when you work together. And you work with real people who show up like, I already forgot his name.
Oh my God.
Is it
Wait,
Kenny?
hold on.
I hear Kenny G.
She doesn't hear what
we
I
have
just played, you
Gabe
guys.
Leo. We've got Mike Asher-Brannard. We got all these. We've got Raquel Flores. Help me out. We've got Michael Gale. We've got
Johanna, Mary. I mean, like everyone here. Paul Deitch and Randy House, by the way. Like these guys are freaking amazing. And so here's what I find fascinating. So Paul, I just got to know a little bit better. Can I just tell you, let's just say, I am not the most mature person. No one would ever accuse me as such. And when I meet people that have a high EQ, it blows my mind always, 100%. And you guys all have high EQ in your own ways. Really, there's not. They're kind of crazy. Anyway, but Paul, however, I just want to give you guys a shout out. Paul has a great question. So his question is, I'm curious what the panel thinks. In my experience, authenticity and empathy is key.
It's key.
Key. Sorry. Look, people, I don't have my glasses on. Screwed.
You have
Key.
to be-
Same. Okay.
Come on.
You have to be willing to be everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Thrive with your tribe and have the courage to stand alone in your truth. So,
ooh, I love that. Stand alone in your truth.
With authenticity and empathy. And look at this. Someone's already reaching at me. All
And
right,
how
I'm
else do you know who people are without being authentic and showing up as yourself and exposing yourself to just who you are as a person?
Paul, message me because you are now the new scribe of the hounds, buddy. Because that's
poetic.
Yeah, dude.
It's beautiful.
You can take what I say and make it like this. Absolutely. And by the
Well,
way,
look, if you haven't ever had a conversation with Paul, like it's
I think we
it's
have one
great.
scheduled.
So, I mean, I interviewed him last year. We reached out. We just had a conversation. We just started talking. I love to hear those people's, like, their journeys of what kind of led them to get to that point of how they feel that way, right? He looks at things a little bit differently. He makes things look a little bit more introspectively, like how you approach things. I'm just going to pull back the curtain a little bit. I'm going on Saturday's show with Trevor Van Warden. I'm going to be on his.
What time? Because let's not duplicate. Let's not
No,
overlap.
it's before. It's way early in the morning, way before Raquel does her show. Okay.
No, but we're also going live with Michael
so
at
I
9.
think- okay, his is 9. What time? Central. Shit. Okay. We're on the same time. Okay.
Well,
anyway.
I think wait, Michael, Gail, and Rocky. I think 9:30. He might be able to.
9:30
Oh, 9 and 9:30 was the only time he could
Central
do.
time.
Okay.
Oh,
so anyway, we'll be
shoot.
running. But
Well,
I'm just
okay.
going to pull back the curtain a little bit. Anyway, he'd been on his show before, and he made the mention to Trevor that it was great to go on here because what the concept of Trevor's show is, he invites people on. He wants you to like highlight 4 or 5 people that you feel need to be highlighted, right? So he's like, it was really great to do the show. He went on there. I got to talk about my, the people that I wanted to highlight, but I felt like I missed out because I didn't get to know the other guests though. And he was like, wow, I didn't think about that. And I told, I kind of messaged Trevor as well. I told him, hey, maybe that's something you incorporate into the future. When you start inviting guests on, you're going to have 6 people on your panel. Have like maybe a pre-Zoom kind of get together. So the guests kind of get to know each other a little bit. And then you can go into like how you run your show. Whole reason the concept was brought up is because Paul said, I wish I would have known the other 5 people on the panel before we had that kind of conversation, because it's kind of a round robin thing. He goes one guest and then he says the next person, they tell their guest. So it just kind of benefits to everybody to kind of know who the other person is a little bit. I mean, I think it just plays into a little bit better chemistry between people. And I think that would have been nice to have that. And I just like those kind of things you need from an outside perspective sometimes. And then they have people like him that are mentioning it to a host, well, that's like,
I love the feedback. I love that he checked the feedback. That's
oh yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you, brother and sister, I swear. But yes, that's the great part about it is that I think that's the thing we also need to do as hosts, though, is that we also are sometimes very short-sighted in what we do. And it's okay to take feedback and saying, not everybody's opinion has to matter, but if it's something that kind of touches along those lines, be open to the idea of saying, I want to incorporate that, because that's just going to make you as what I love to say is I've overstepped my boundaries, but I love to make other people's presentations the best they possibly can. Yeah. Where I overstep my boundaries, sometimes they don't ask for it. I did this just a few weeks ago, and like, I didn't even know that I did this. That's the crappy part, right? I didn't know that I did that. I just thought, hey, I'm helping somebody out. Mm-hmm. Sometimes not everybody has to ask.
Because when you give in earnestness from your heart, you don't realize you're doing it because you're giving without the expectation of receiving. Yes. I swear to God, I'm about to punch your friend right there.
Well, I'll just add that I think that, look how perfect this example has been. I mean, the after party versus the take one, which was a hot mess at some point. Wow.
Oh God,
if that had been our only podcast together, that would have left very awkward terms. Like we didn't really have a chance to connect like this. Now look, here it is. Take 2. This is real. It just speaks to the value of knowing the people that you're actually talking to and having that opportunity to meet, kind of get through the bumps and the like dating, right?
Yeah, you gotta
get through the first.
You gotta figure out what works.
Conversations, but then figure out what works.
Yeah, get through the first date farts. That's
well,
you made the
first date fart. Can we talk about Kentuckyisms?
Well, I mean, we eat a lot of beans. It's going to happen. It's not much more complicated than that.
And I love the comment that's on there that I have more names.
Yeah, you do. Dude, hey, it's okay, Jody, that you messed up Apollo Creed's names.
I'll go
the
by
King
it.
of Sting,
It's Gabe, Kenny G. I mean, I've been called worse.
No, I meant you had a reference.
The King of Sting.
No, not you personally. The gentleman that you said.
Oh, Kenny D. Yes.
Yes.
Kenny D.
Wow. Sensitive much?
A little bit. No. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Hey, what microphone are you talking to, Jody?
That one.
I'm so confused.
I feel like going, should I do this and go?
Yeah, you know better.
Can you cut that a little bit?
On one serious note, the one thing we haven't discussed, Jody, you and I know this all too well, which I would love, and we're like probably like 40 minutes behind, but Stephanie Park says, I love seeing women supporting women on here too. So important. Can we talk about that just real quick? And Mike, this is for Jody, not you.
I'm gonna follow up.
I know you do.
No, she's not. Hey, she's wait a
I
minute.
know you do.
She's writing her sticky pads like a wallpaper. Are you ready? Or you want me to go?
For what?
To answer.
Women supporting women.
I was just making a list of all the women that I wanted to thank, so I didn't
Okay.
forget anybody. But
Well,
Okay.
I'll give you the short.
So clearly the girl in the group has to talk first.
Okay. Are you ready? You got your wallpaper? Yeah, so go ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, now introducing Jody Lamb and her wallpaper. Go ahead. Because you have an eloquent answer and I have the simple, honest one. Okay. Answer this, lady. Answer that woman. All right. I'm on it. Are you ready? Answer her. Okay.
what's
So
the question?
Stephanie, she said she loves seeing women support women on here too. Honestly, it's because I just couldn't make a guy friend, and so it really accelerated the women's growth. So we went from 97% women to 92 because again, it wasn't about men or women or gender; it was about heart. So it was just easier for me to relate to it and relate to women just before guys. And that's how we met Michael Gale and all these other dudes who are really secure in their manhood, right? And yes, redneck Pilates, that's real. I've had so many people say, I thought that was a joke. No, it's not a joke. My back feels better and I work better. So, yeah. Are you ready to answer?
No.
No?
then I'll answer.
No, I'm just going to say here, I just respectfully disagreed. I was just starting making a list of why I was going to argue against a lot of things that you just said there.
I like that
come
you
up with
do.
anything good? Go ahead.
Yeah.
I don't see that it's women supporting women.
Right.
It's real people supporting real people.
Right.
Yeah, it's not even about
I don't think that there's any surprise that women work better together in industries where men have worked competitively against each other.
So
This like
I'm
I
inviting.
think we attract the positivity around
Yes.
us.
I think our group does. Our group specifically does. But let's be.
It's more than just women supporting women, but yes, I agree. We should be. And I love that we do. And it doesn't even feel like that though.
I've got
But I feel like but let me challenge you guys. I think I'm going to challenge. I am challenging. It is this. I think traditionally there is a assumption or misconception, or we have seen it as at least as a female in certain contexts. There is a challenge of women not supporting women in general.
Oh yeah.
Okay. You know, I think
I
that, and
know.
I think Stephanie Park, if you are still there, because I know we're hella behind, clarify a little bit more. In our group, I think it's been like people supporting people because people are people. But I do think if you think in the macro world, there is a very big problem of women that get up and rise into that level of prominence do not pull as much as men will pull.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
So let's talk about that a little
in
bit.
the corporate, so in the corporate space, you do see that happen very often because it's one of those things like it is. Sometimes it's built into the culture that there's a competition, not a cooperation between that and saying, "Oh, I did this on my own. I did this. I got to this point." Whereas guys who are doing it in their own structure, it's like, "Hey, bro, high five, man! I'm gonna get you in that position. We're gonna move you up."
Yep. So
What-
here, can I just
Yeah,
add
go
one?
ahead.
Can I
Yeah.
just do this because Mary's looking for a job. By the way, everyone looking to hire Mary Baker, hire Mary Baker. Mary Baker, put your LinkedIn link in there, please. I'm asking. I was actually looking at myself there. Hello, Mary Baker. Put your information on there. Mary Baker's looking for a job. Earlier, I think Ashif was looking for a job too. So you guys, please support individuals. However, I will ask this and challenge you guys on this because it's been bothering me. Women have a tendency, if we don't check mark every single bullet point of that list of a job requirement, we are more prone not to apply for that job because we think we don't qualify. I, as a former hiring manager and recruiter, those lists that you see on job descriptions are called unicorn lists. But women don't understand that. Women think, oh, I must hit all of it. Therefore, I must hit it all, be beyond qualified for the job. Men are like, I hit 2. Oh, wait, the job looks interesting. Title's cool. Done. And that's the difference. And that's why I think women supporting women, I think we do the same thing with if we are trying to raise in a corporate life, or if we're trying to get into a level of, higher, experience of whatever level it might be. We have a problem with that. Why can't we support other women to say, hey, you maybe have half the quote job requirements, but that's because we were told we have to put 20 lists up.
It's the competition, though. It's the competition of saying, if I say that, though, like I'm endangering my job or I'm endangering my own opportunities. I don't know why it is. Sometimes it seems that way. Like I don't quite understand it myself. That I see, like, why wouldn't you want somebody else to like see somebody in a structure like that going, it would be easier if I had more people like myself in these positions, especially when you're talking about gender. I mean, again, there's a reason why there's still gaps in the pay. There's still reasons why there's women CEOs and men CEOs, and the gaps between what one's getting paid and the other is different.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So it's because it's the way that it's structured, so that, I'm just going to say it, men feel like they have to be superior. And that's why it's hard sometimes. So that's ingrained in you guys at some point while you're coming through and learning how to become in the corporate world or any kind of entity. To be honest, it's like you're taught that if I don't get ahead, she's going to beat me. Where we're in the competition is like, bro, how many of us can get there?
Yeah.
And that's and that's
Yeah.
and that's hard and that's a hard thing to kind of work through. It's a culture thing that has to be kind of broken, and it's why, like, you're starting to see it now in culture. Like, there are women who's starting to integrate helping other women, but it's still not to the level where it should be. It's because it was already generations behind. It's going to take, you won't see the full effects of this, or what you ladies are doing or what you're talking about, until grandkids two generations down the line.
I read 100 years on that.
I think at that point you'll get a perspective there, but you're already at a point where you're already behind in how that's going to work. And yes, you're going to have the exceptions to the rule, but that's what it is. It's exception. It's not the rule of what it is. It's still not fair. I push for this very hard because I have a different perspective. I have 3 daughters that I want to see have the best opportunity in life. Yeah. And for me, that is where my push comes in as a male. And it's harder for them. It's going to be harder for them to understand that, because again, it gets ingrained at some point, and you're fighting culture. You're fighting almost genetics at some point. It's tough.
Yes and no. So I know you're taking copious notes, so I'm going to say something, and Jodie, please respond, okay? Because you can take a lot of notes.
Sorry, I'm like just making notes to myself at this point. I'm just soaking in all that he has to say.
I will say this much. I do firmly believe, the way I was raised, my father had 4 daughters, and it's a funny joke. If anyone wants to know the joke, I was 19 dating my first boyfriend ever, and I brought him home for a barbecue. Mind you, my father never barbecues. He always let like everybody else do it. But that day at this barbecue, he's holding this tray of meat of my father never barbecues. So I was like, everyone's like, what's dad doing? What's dad doing? And he looks at my then boyfriend. He goes, come with me. And he takes my boyfriend out to the barbecue. And so everyone's like, oh. And then we're all laughing at that point because I'm like, I know my dad. And the first thing out of his mouth, he told this joke to my then boyfriend. He goes, hey, what's it called if you have daughters? And he's like, I don't know. And he goes, payback. Remember that. And I just thought it was hilarious. But I think it's a true statement. And even though he was a joke, and it was like his way of breaking the ice with the boyfriend, I do think it's truth. My father raised us as humans.
Mm-hmm.
We learned to code every Saturday. You guys, maybe that might be called torture by today's standards, but every Saturday he taught us to code in BASIC. I knew how to code in BASIC at 7 years old. Wow. And for those that don't even know what BASIC is, it doesn't mean basic biatch. Okay,
no,
we're talking about a programming language. But that being said,
at 7,
I learned how to change tires. I learned how to like change oil. Like I knew the car engine. Like my father treated us like a guy, like a boy, like anything you would.
That's awesome.
actually, it wasn't like boy. It is in the beginning of my life. I was like, oh, he treated me like a boy. No, the actual statement is he treated me like a self-sufficient human. And I think, and you make fun of me all the time. See, as a Texas CEO, I'm like, no, I'm just, my father just treated me like I can do anything, be anything, because you have to do your own crap. You have to fix your own problems because you make your own problems. And that's why women supporting women and or whatever, or minorities supporting minorities. It is this, yeah. It is a true statement. We do get judged based on how we look, how we are, where we come from, and whatnot. There's no two ways about it. But I feel like you're given lemons all your life. How do you lemonade that, right? And I think whether you're minority of any genre, you're gonna get pooped on, right? I cannot believe I'm not swearing as much as I normally do. You guys have to like applaud me on this. Hold on.
Where's the problem?
Okay.
Where's your bottle? You can
Shh. I was gonna hand it off in a second. Pour.
okay. Not bad. You may continue now.
Thank you. My rants.
They've been watching. They know.
It was, and actually, I think they're all gone now. But it was a
Let's
secret.
go.
But I do really firmly believe, even in today's challenging times with the next generations of canceling and all that, ultimately, I think for us, even on LinkedIn too, at times, is just understand we're humans. We're all trying to make our way through life. We're gonna have poop on us all day long. The question is, do you poop and like wallow in it, or you just go, you know what? I like a little rouge there. That's not bright color. Anyway, but what I'm saying, I gotta go. I think I'm done.
Nobody let me talk for 16. Even Raquel Jr. said, "Wow, Mike's just hanging out."
We
No,
just need to continue supporting each other.
yeah.
Women, we've got to continue supporting each other, lifting each other up, growing with other strong women. Stephanie, this message, this is for you. I want you to watch this later. I believe in you.
I'm gonna do this real quick though. I'm still gonna be a gentleman. I just have to. I was raised that way. I'm gonna offer the last tater tot to see you.
Oh, damn straight. And I will take it. And not because I'm female.
All right.
My mama likes her too.
So listen, real quick. So 100 hours ago, when Stephanie mentioned that comment,
Thank you, Stephanie. We've
Yes.
come full circle.
Yeah.
Michael, thank you for this community of women, of men, of just everyone supporting each other.
oh, my pleasure. So two things. It was easier for me and then other guys that came, I think, and this is what we talked about. I mean, it's just us. But it was easier for us to be, I guess, more vulnerable, open, and less guarded, right? More productive, because there was, already women doing that, and there's men that can do it. But it made us guys like, when I think of this, I think of like Carl Sean Watkins, Mr. Vulnerability, right? Like that kind of guy. It was easier for us to become more like him because there was people there and there was women, just like Gabe was saying, we kind of got that caveman stuff still in us biologically. But it kind of goes to Sia's point too. The second point of mine is I don't have a problem. In fact, I enjoy being around her because she usually leads meetings and things like this, first chair, first speaker. And I like it because I sit in, because I don't lead everything because I have to. I just, or want to, I have to. So anyway, the point is that I enjoy her doing the heavy lifting and me helping and support. It doesn't bother me. I'm about getting things done, efficiency, more business, more money, doing more good with that money. I don't care if it's a woman or man. So like, even though we are kind of different, I just don't even care at this point. It's just, for me personally, it's easier to relate to women and then attract guys that like that kind of culture. But it's not a gender-based question to me at this point. I mean, I've got daughters, man. I want them to,
But I think you get that. You understand that perspective. That's the same thing with me. It's the same thing with me. Like, right?
Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
I see what you're doing. I'm trying to discreetly ask Jodie if she wants a little sippy sip.
Oh. Hey, don't tell anybody, but Sia wants to know.
She's not even done.
So,
is this water now?
It might be. I have a giant ice
my
ball
goodness.
in there at the beginning of the season.
So,
Okay. So anyway,
Sorry,
Raquel Flores.
I'm just gonna go along those lines. What I was just trying to say is like, you have a different perspective because you're raising a young woman into the world, so your perspective has kind of changed.
Yeah.
So the way that you're going to look at it, as opposed to saying somebody who's just, raising boys, is going to be, the perspective is different. Like for me, it's always been My thing is I've always connected I'm very similar to you. I've connected very easily much more with women than I do men.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because I am somebody who's very empathetic and I've always learned how to share myself and how to be a little bit more vulnerable in what I talk about.
You're very vulnerable.
Bull.
Yeah, you're very.
Yeah.
I do. It's just being honest. That's who I am. And I've always shied away from it because I was somebody who was pushed away from I want to say the machismo, the man culture. Like I was always told you're too emotional, you cry too much, you do all these things, you're a sissy, you're all, other words that I won't say here that kind of described who I was in their eyes, not what I believed. But that's part of it. Why I say, you know what? I always found a more empathetic ear talking to women.
Yeah.
At a very early age. And I said, why am I not going to talk to them? They're the ones that at least listen to me.
Right.
I mean, it's falling on deaf ears when I try to tell another dude about something like this. Like I can honestly, how
Or you
hard,
get
like
laughed
as a
at, or, yeah.
guy, I mean, you'll understand this now, but as a guy, have you ever sat in a conversation and said, man, I just cried last night. I didn't feel, my emotions got the best of me.
Hey guys,
set
we
the
would love
bubble
to
bath.
hear that.
No, I honestly believe, I think that's actually literally hormonal. I don't think that it has anything to do with the fact that you cannot or don't have the ability. It is proven that, particularly for those that take hormone therapy and all that, it's proven when you have more estrogen, more progesterone in your system, you do get more in tune with emotions. So I would not necessarily diminish your desire or think that you are lesser than, though I tell my boyfriend all the time that he is emotionally stunted, but I do believe, I think it's testosterone love. I think there's a truth. It is truth. And you know what? Dr. Brian Sagre,
Where are you?
Dr. Z, Dr. Brittany, can we have you doctors come in?
Somewhere.
And like all the doctors out there validate. I do think there is something about hormones. I do think there's something about the amount of that in our systems, because Princess P over here likes to say that I'm masculine. I do think I have a little bit more testosterone. I do. I think I have a little bit more testosterone than.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like
I do.
you scare me. Like you impress me. Like I would love to have been raised learning code as a kid. Look how amazing you are.
I think, like
We're
I
gonna
said,
learn from the generations that have pushed us before. Your
yeah,
dad
there you
has
go.
made you better. You are gonna be pushing
Yeah,
and shrinking that 100-year gap.
that's what I'm supposed to do. I feel that's my purpose. Is part of me is to do that. Like I know that's how I'm going to be. That's how I'm going to be a better boyfriend, better husband, better all these things down the line. Is like I have to understand these things. That's how I'm going to be a better father. Is that I have to, that's an expectation for me for myself. Because when we talk about things like legacy, those are my daughters and my kids are going to be part of the legacy of what's left behind from me. In 100 years, they won't know about me. If you're lucky, you are. Lucky you're Shakespeare, you're somebody that they read or whatever, and they kind of get a glimpse of who you are. But in the grand scheme of things, nobody will kind of know exactly who I am, but they will know the lineage of what I've done and how I've raised those children. And those are things that go a very long way, but you have to have the foresight to see that.
Dude.
If you're very short-sighted in that, you're not going to.
Yes.
Go ahead, please.
So, okay, my background is not in production. My background is not in media. My background is not in anything traditional media oriented. I spent 20 years in tech sales, but I realized that wasn't my jam. I lost a passion for it. And it doesn't, and for those that are like trying to figure out their careers and whatnot, money does ease a lot of pain on a lot of different fronts. Okay. Let's not lie to ourselves. Let's not lie to ourselves. But I will say I was still break out into massive hives because I was not successful in my world. Okay. And it doesn't matter how much money you make. If you're personally not satisfied in life, you're just not satisfied. No matter amount of money. I don't care, you guys, $1 million, 5 million, it doesn't matter. If you're not satisfied, you're just simply not satisfied. because you're always going to be chasing for something. It's almost like drugs. Like,
Mhm.
not that I'm an addict or drugs or wait, hold on.
No, while you're taking a breath, it's just like that's why there's a lot of rich celebrities that have all the money, but then they go and commit suicide to do things, and you're like, why? It looks like you had everything in front of you. You're describing exactly what they were feeling.
It is. And I think that's where the like fulfillment, find what it is that's going to work for you. So when I left and I moved into this creative field, which let's be brutally honest, we're not millionaires. We're going to be, but let's say us get to that millionaire was a lot harder than now before when in our corporate lives. So here's the thing is the reason why that I thought it'd be a great idea to do this is because we're in a digital age. The reason why I say digital content, everyone in personal branding or professional branding should do is because it does leave a legacy, a digital legacy of who you are. I got in genealogy when I left corporate America. After great grandparents, you just become birth dates and death dates and a name and nothing more. So why in this age that we have the ability to record ourselves, who we are, this foibles and all, it's called katsugi in Japanese culture, where if you have a broken glass or broken thing here, you repair it with gold. And the whole product becomes basically
More
a
beautiful because of the flaws.
bingo. So that's why I got into what it is and why we're all here and why I love LinkedIn. And I'm just going to hand it off.
I'm just going to take this to the next level because I have agreed. Yes, I totally agree. I'm scared learning in an environment that I'm unfamiliar with. Not only do we have to embrace our children as a childbirth, as a daughter, and now sees themselves with different identities and learning communities and learning things that I had never had exposure to. It is because we are faced with wonderful opportunities to grow and push the next generations to be better than ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it may suck at times that we got pushed hard, but that's where we learn and that's where we build ourselves with those golden badges of honor.
No, I love where you guys are going with this. I feel like I cheated my last season of all the guests that I had because I had one question I used to ask, and it became what I got known for a while. And it was simply this. I used to ask because this was a question that I asked myself, and I always used to love hearing other people's opinions about it. So I'm going to ask everybody here, and this is how I would ask everybody on the show. I would end it in this manner. I would say, okay, when the book is said and done on Sia Yasutorat, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? And what do you want to be remembered for? And I would ask, and I would just, some people had actually very deep thought into that. And when I got a good answer, I was like, shit, I wish I would have thought of that. That's amazing. And there's people that have not had an inkling clue to think about it. And I always say, there's no right or wrong answer to this. This is just a pinpoint of where you are in life right now.
Hey, I was going to ask a final question. So let's make that the final question. And the people in the audience, if you want to comment, the question is, what do you want to be remembered by? What is the legacy that you want to leave? And so who do you want to answer first?
Well, I'll go and I'll say this. Good. And I'll tell you why I used to say to both, because there's two things you can do. A legacy is something that can outlive you, right? When I say being remembered for is a little bit different, right? Here's what I tell the example of. People are going to say, I'm going to use it as an example. It's the one I thought about when I thought about this. Michael Jackson, right? I have a legacy where his music lives on beyond his time. It's already happening now. But when people remember him, what do they remember him for, though? Right? They think about the trials and the accusations and all those things. So those are two different things that you have to differentiate what the two are. So my thing is, you're going to leave a legacy. What is the legacy you want to leave behind? And then what do you want to be remembered for? Like, those are the things that I want.
You're like treating that way, like dragging with you.
I'm just kidding. I'm used to having my own, like, anyway. Okay.
Exactly. I have to translate that.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah,
there we go. Okay.
There.
But that's how. So for me, that's why I started creating digital content in the first place. is because I wanted to leave a blueprint for my children to see at some point, to know who I am. They won't know introspectively like who I am at some point because I will be gone, and they won't have the opportunity to ask the questions, but they'll always have the ability to go back and watch those, and they can kind of build a blueprint of who their father was. And they'll already have what they remember me by. I remember Dad as being caring and loving and kissing and hugging and all the other stuff that he did. But then there's the other part of what that is behind for my legacy. And they'll be able to do that. Not just them, other people. And that's why, like, I've always asked that question, because that is why this is why this drives me every single time to say, I'm ready to walk away. And then I go back and I think about it and I said, no, I'm not ready to walk away, because there's still more left for me unsettled.
Right.
When I feel at that point where I get to that point where I say I am fulfilled with everything that I'm done, I'm ready to hang it up. I'm not there yet. There will be a point.
I love that.
Yeah.
You're like, "Ooh," I feel like, so are you ready for yours? Beautiful.
I'm just sad that I don't get to hear that. I do get to hear it on repeat. That's right.
Yeah.
We got a
I
repeat
think
button.
that
We got a
is-
repeat.
That
Fancy.
is something that should like be totally taken out and inspirational. Well done, sir. Thank you. I'm humble. I just want to be known as a good person. Not someone trying to be someone that they're not trying to be anything that more than their greatest opportunity or potential. I just want to be known for being kind and generous and sincere and authentic, and that's my goal, is to give and be generous and have a loving, blessed life.
And you do it. And it's weird. It's funny because you are like so much more understated, and you're like, again, there's different personality types, but you do it in a way that's like, it's there, it's chill, it's all good. And you don't have to be the cheerleader. You don't have to be up in the pom pom front. It's happening, but people know it and they recognize it. And so I hope you understand that.
Yeah, I really think we have a legacy to leave for women. I really love that my team is growing with strong women, and we lift each other up and we're supporting each other. And more than that, the women that work together in our industry are as well. So I just feel incredibly blessed to be in this opportunity today as women versus 20 years
Say
ago.
in 6 months, I want you to say that, but I want it to be more. I want it to come out instantaneously with with gusto. It's like, I know what that is. Like, that's why I say people, I love putting that question into mind, because then I've had people reach out to me afterwards and said, you bastard. Like, I never thought about that. Now you have me thinking about that. And I said, good. That's what it's supposed to be, thought provoking. So you know what that is for you. That kind of gives you a guideline to now put it down, refine it, so that next time somebody asks this question or it comes up in thorough conversation, you don't even think about it. You go, I'll tell you what it is right now. Just like this. I didn't rehearse that.
Right. No,
It's
nothing
done.
about, I don't have zero experience. Y'all throw me on a podcast. I have no idea what
Hey, by the way, it's
I
technically
have
not
no
a podcast.
idea what,
Or
or
Hey,
a,
technically it's a live stream. I haven't
live
put it on
stream?
audio format. No, I did
See,
not
this
yet.
is how not known. I don't know anything. I don't have 500 episodes. I have like 5 minutes experience.
But this is the part that I love, because now you're just learning what it is to blossom into this.
Mhm.
Like
Jodie's World.
and in a year, Jodie's World will be something different. But this
World.
is why I say enjoy the ride from where you're at now. And
It's only going to be amazing. It can only be more,
Jodie's World.
it's all good.
I wish I could sing.
mean, look how far I have to go from.
Jodie.
I don't think I deserve even to be sitting here. I feel, that,
that's the imposter syndrome.
yes.
No,
it's
no, that's not
real.
imposter
Imposter syndrome.
No,
Oh
I
my
don't. No,
gosh.
I don't subscribe to imposter syndrome. You know what it is?
Tell me.
All right, tell me, please.
Tell
And
me.
we got to wrap this up, because he's like, I think all of our bladders are about to burst. Because
I'm
right now,
good.
I was actually ready to just jump up and go pee, like, just so you know.
I'm
But
There's a bottle down here. I'm good.
I know. Actually, there's an empty bottle here too next to me. That's a different reason. Okay. Hey, if I may just close up, I'm going to close it up. I don't want to continue, because we can keep going.
Yeah.
Something tells me we're going to do this again. So just, I'm going to roll that way.
we might need a third one.
Yes.
Third episode, next episode.
Yeah, I will say this. When we're talking about legacy, we're thinking about how people want to think. And I know for me, I do love. When I love authentically, and I give to you. I basically give until you piss me off and it's done. And then I have that. I gave a lot to you. I gave you chances and it's done. So my saying, my epitaph, if you will, is wait, I had it. Damn it, Janet. Damn it, Janet. Damn it. I tried, she tried, and she gave. That's it.
It's that simple. Why does it got to be difficult?
I blame the tater tot.
No, actually I have to really pee and I love you. I really got it. I can't hold it.
Okay.
And usually after she says that the 22nd time, it's for real.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We got to wrap it up, Mike.
Yep.
You're on.
Yeah.
the
I mean, to
clock,
me,
my man.
it's simple, man. You know, to me, it's just the culmination of, you know, what I'm about essentially, whether I do it right or not, man. God, family, and business. And because, you know, obviously the family is the most important, but in business, I realized that, you know, it's the vehicle to bring more value, make more money, do more good. Because here's the phrase, and I think Paul might get this really good. I know Paul understands this. There's a phrase, and you know, people always said, you know, money is the root of all evil, and the love of money is the root of all. It's not money itself, because look, it's real simple. Good people with money do good things. All right, bad people with money do bad things. You can do more good things, or you can do more bad things. You know, and I have this talk with people because, you know, I'm just almost 42. And it's still hard for me to say, yeah, I deserve it. I earned it. I can do it. You know, it's still kind of a poverty mindset. So my whole legacy, you know, would be um, really inspiring and encouraging people in a non BS way, right? Because I don't have an interest of just writing stuff that people clap at, never implement. You know, through my trials and the things I didn't do and learned later, teach other people, teach my children. You know, hopefully they'll do the best. It's up to them. They could screw it up royally. And if that happens, don't blame yourself. But my job is to equip people to have a safer, faster journey than I did, and hopefully a more positive journey. Because the beat downs, you know, I probably could have been on the moon by now. You know, it's seriously, and that's kind of what I want. I want somebody that's watching or sees our goofy post that can relate to it. Because in that goofiness or in whatever attracted that person to it, the point was is to help them be more, do more. Maybe it's that one voice or one thing that we said that tips the scale from I can't to I could, that kind of thing. So, you know, I don't have anything to be a Tony Robbins or Gary Vee. It could happen. I'm not going to reject it. But look, even on a small scale, I mean, if I help 4 people who help 4 people and the great grandchildren benefit, that's a legacy. And by the way, I'd be real vain. If I want to be real vain, all right, real cocky, I walked into the buildings with an oil painting. That's when I know I did it. If I really want to go megastar, I want some. My kids would have my oil painting in the hallway. But otherwise, I don't have a desire to be famous. But if that's what it takes to get things done and help more people, to not be stuck and not waste their life like I was doing because of negative feedback, I call that a win.
I agree with you. I don't think it's so much that you. I don't think it's so much you want to be famous. It's just sometimes where we're guided. We don't. Sometimes we don't get that. You know, we don't always choose that path. Sometimes that path shows up right before us.
Yeah, and that's what's happened. This is what everybody is here. We didn't plan this. We didn't have some master strategy. We just kept crossing paths and good things happening. I mean, but now we're getting intentional. But just put yourself out there. Put yourself out there. Do something. Look goofy. You know, that's what it is. So are we done? Are you
I'm just going to say, I don't want to be famous, but I do kind of ready to go bed.
You can go bed. It's my bedtime. All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up. Hey, all you all have a great time. Again, we're live in Dallas. Don't forget Raquel cannot roll my R's.
Wait, Saturday,
Raquel.
What do you got on Saturday? You got 2 things?
Yeah.
Please tell.
We'll see you. What is it?
Saturday, you got what? Michael Gale, you're doing
is
Pilates?
Clarify. I'm off screen. I'm sort of off screen. So to clarify, 9 to 9:30 is us doing an impromptu Pilates with Michael Gale. At 10 a.m. is when you're with Trevor. He said 8 a.m. Pacific, so it's 10 a.m. our time.
So yes, I will be
And
on his
Unleashed.
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 Yeah, Unleashed.
And then after that, oh my
You got
God.
Raquel's Corner
this is-
on Saturday at what time?
4, I think we're going to do 4 p.m.
4 p.m. Central time?
Yep.
5 Central. I
Yep,
mean,
yep.
5 Eastern. Okay. There you go.
6 Eastern, 5 Central, and then that's it. And you guys are amazing, and thank you for staying around. And Paul, we love you like a love song, baby. Rocky, you girl, we're waiting for you. You know we're waiting for you. So anyway, on that note, I think
Shout out to all the people still with us.
shout out to everyone.
I love you.
Randy,
You've been
and
so
like,
it's been great. And those on the replay are
Susanna. Oh, Susanna.
I love being able to get
Love
to know you
you.
all so much
Ken
better.
Dunner, and Kenny Dundee. Oh, and Stephanie Park. We're not connected. Let's be friends. All right.
All
wait.
of us, we have
Okay.
just kind of bore our souls tonight. Everyone is like making sure we're working, connecting with each other. Let's continue the conversations. Let's continue to support each other, to lift each other up.
Yep.
And go to bed soon.
Go to bed, folks.
Yeah, man. Look,
It's a school night.
it is a school night.
Yeah, we talked
Jay,
about
go.
freedom.
All right. So, hey,
I gotta go.
make more money, have fun doing it. Reach out to somebody. Y'all have a good day. Appreciate it. See
Peace
you
out.
Saturday.
Ooh,
We
bye.
got to have a symbol.
Bye-bye.
Wait a minute.
Thank y'all for stopping by. Be sure to follow, share, and like, and send me a message if you had fun today. Y'all come back now.